Good morning, students. Today we are going to discuss a model number 3, that is probability distribution. Probability distribution is a quite interesting and realistic concept which is useful in our day-to-day life. What is the meaning of probability distribution? If you see the definition of probability distribution, what it says: if the outcome of a trial consists n number of exhaustive, mutually exclusive, equally possible cases. What is the meaning of equally possible cases? Equally possible means there is a chance of winning or losing for everyone. It will be same for everyone in the beginning. Then m of them are favorable cases. M of them are favorable case means what? If anybody want to play a game to win, so for him winning will be a favorable case of an event E. So here we take three notations. One is N, M and E. What is N? Here N means possible case. N means possible case. Then what is M? M will be a favorable case. Favorable case. Then what is E? E is a event. If this is the case, then what happens? Probability of E is nothing but it is a number of favorable cases divided by number of possible cases. Possible cases. So this is nothing but number of favorable is M divided by number of possible is N. So that becomes a probability of an event. For example, if we are conducting a test for maximum 25 marks, if you get 20 marks out of 25, how it will be written? It will be written like this. So this itself is a concept of probability. You can see the favorable, this is an event of a test conduction. Okay, in this possibility was of getting 25 marks where a student scored 20 marks, so this 20 becomes his favorable out of 25 possibilities. So this is called as a probability. And in probability there is a note. We have to take care of this note. So if you take E, E is a probability of a success plus a probability of E bar, that is nothing but a failure. All the time a probability of success plus probability of failure will be equal to 1. If I want to if I take one example here, tossing a coin. Tossing a coin once. If you toss a coin, there are a chances of getting either head or tail. Suppose if we toss a coin and if I wish is to get head here, then I take head. Means what? There are a two chances of getting either head or tail. So total possibilities are 2, but out of that, if I am getting head, means once if we toss a coin and in that I get a head, means the chance is only once. So it becomes 50% chance, we can say. As I told you, probability of success, probability of failure will be equal to 1. Suppose if you take probability of getting tail, which I don't want, I want head, but that is also 1 by 2. So that is also 50%. So we take probability of getting head plus probability of getting tail will be equal to 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2 will be equal to 1. That becomes 100%. So probability of success plus probability of failure will be equal to 1 all the time. Okay. Then we take next concept, the real concept of your syllabus, that is random variable. Now let us see what is the meaning of random variable. In a random experiment, if a real variable is associated with every outcome. Every outcome means your real variable is associated with every outcome of a event. Then it is called as random variable, or even it is also called as stochastic variable. Okay, therefore these random variables are denoted by x, y, z and so on. And further, these random variables may be associated with some sample space S. Some sample space S means what? Suppose if there is a chance of getting head and tail in the previous example, so automatically we may be getting head and we may be getting a tail. Where it will be kept? It will be kept in a sample space. So S will be a sample space which consists both head and tail. Okay, then the set of all real numbers, of a random variable x, this is called as a range of x. What is a range of x? Let us take one example now. Okay, so while tossing a coin, same example, while tossing a coin, if you take a value 1 which is associated with head, getting head, and the value 0 is associated with getting a tail, then a sample space S will be having both chances of getting head or tail. But if we say x is of getting head, if I get head, that will be treated as value 1. If I get a tail, then that will be treated as value 0. Therefore, the range will be decided with the help of random variable, that is nothing but. So in a random variable we are having a chances of getting head and tail. Therefore, in a space we are having a chance of getting head and tail. Therefore, in a range we will be decide this numerically like getting 0 and 1. If I want to get tail, then first I got head, so I got 0. I wanted tail, but second time I got a tail, so it is called as 1, or vice versa. So this is called as a range. Then this probability is having two concepts again. One is called as discrete, and other one is called as continuous random variable. Okay, so we'll take one by one. First we take discrete. What is the meaning of discrete random variable? If a random variable takes finite or countably infinite numbers of values, then it is called as discrete random variable. What is the meaning of this? Means finite means it is easily countable. Second is if it is infinite also, but that is countably infinite. For example, if I say number of students in a class can be finite, it may be 60, it may be 100. Countably infinite means what? Number of people in a crowd. Easily it cannot be say these many crowds exactly, approximately we can say. We say that so many people gathered. So many people means what? It is countably infinite. So overall meaning is what? Countable. A discrete random variable will have infinite or countably infinite range for this. Okay. So for example, if I take, I'll be taking an example tossing a coin and observing getting head. If I am tossing a coin once, if I am tossing a coin 100 times, if I am tossing a coin 1000 times, whatever it is. Okay, observing getting head means what? N number of times, but it is fixed. How many times? 100,000 times it is fixed. Getting a head, that is also fixed. How many times you may get a head. So this is overall concept of counting. Or you can take one more example, throwing a cubical die. Throwing a cubical die. When you throw a cubical die, what happens? We will be observing number of faces. Number of faces, whether I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But it is also countable. Then I take continuous random variable. Continuous random variable. What is the meaning of continuous random variable? Continuous random variable is a non-countable infinite number of values which has non-countable. Non-countable means what? We cannot count. Infinite number of values means what? It is not at all possible to count, but it can be measured. And always a continuous random variable is also called as non-discrete random variable. Means what? Two things we can see here. One is discrete, but discrete means it is not continuous. One is continuous random variable means which is non-discrete. So what is the meaning of continuous random variable now? Continuous random variable means which has non-countable infinite values which cannot be counted. For example, we can say the amount of water present in a river, that cannot be counted, but it can be measurable. So means it is non-countable, but it can be measurable. That we need to think. Okay. For example, length of a river. Length of the river cannot be counted. Length of the river can be measured. So what is the length of a river that can be measured? Okay. For example, I'll take one more example. Observing a speed or observing a pointer on a speedometer. You are riding a bike. On a bike, you are observing your speed. In how you are observing a speed? You are observing a pointer on a speedometer. Observing pointer on a speedometer means what? You are saying that I am moving 50 kilometers per hour. I am moving 80 kilometers per hour. How you will come to know? You will come to know with the help of a pointer. So that pointer cannot be countable. That with the help of pointer we can measure the distance. So that is the meaning. So we need to take two important bits from here. Means if it is discrete, discrete means it is not continuous. So it is countable. All the time discrete is countable. Then second one is continuous random variable. Continuous random variable is measurable. So two things we need to keep it in the mind all the time in a probability. If the probability distribution is a discrete, so that is countable. If the probability distribution is continuous, that is measurable. So now we'll take the first probability distribution, that is discrete probability distribution. Discrete probability distribution. Two things we are going to join now. We discussed what is the meaning of probability. Probability is nothing but a ratio of number of favorable cases to number of possible cases. Then we discussed what is a discrete. discrete is countable. So now we are mixing these two things to get a solution. So let us take, if for each value xi of a discrete random variable x is assigned a real number, I take it as p of xi, such that first this probability of xi must be greater than or equal to 0. Each value of xi is assigning with a real number p of xi. So that p of xi must be greater than or equal to 0. Second, the summation of that p of xi must be equal to 1 if it starts from I. Two things we need to keep it in mind. When we can say the distribution is discrete probability distribution, if the probability of x is greater than or equal to 0, then it is first condition. Second condition, the summation of that probability distribution is equal to 1. Then only we can say it is discrete probability distribution. Then we have few formulas to calculate the examples here. So very much clear it is now. That is, discrete probability distribution is 1 where these two conditions are satisfied. Okay, for example, we are going to take few formulas now. Calculating mean, because in probability distribution we should know how to calculate mean, variance and standard deviation. So mean will be calculated by using the formula summation of xi into probability of xi. Now everything is between two terms. One is given value of x, other one is p of x. So that is probability of x. So summation of xi into p of xi, the product of these two, if it is kept under the summation sign, that becomes its mean. Then let us know what is the formula for variance. Variance will be taken as V, or sometimes will be taken it as sigma square. Okay, here we take summation of x minus mu square into p of x. Wherever x is there, I'll take xi because we don't know the exact number here, but in the example it will be very clear. Summation of xi minus mu the whole square means it is very much clear. To calculate variance, mean is required. Okay, so we take the value of x minus mean, the square of that will be multiplied with p of x. So that is the variance. Then what is standard deviation? Standard deviation I call it as SD. SD is nothing but, if you take it is root V or else sigma. Sigma means whatever variance will be there, you take a square root of that variance, that will become a standard deviation. Here I'll make one note. Why this note is required? We are going to experience at the time of solving examples. Variance can also be in the form V is equal to summation of xi square into p of xi minus summation of xi into p of xi the whole square, where it is I. Two formulas are there to get a variance. One is this and other one is this. Whichever is useful, we will take. Most probably, most of the time we will take this as a formula. But if the data is given in a different way, that time we will be using this. Means one thing we can observe here. To calculate variance from this formula, mean is very much required. But to calculate the variance from this formula, mean is not required. Means if you don't know the mean, we can calculate the variance with this formula. But if you know the mean, we can calculate the variance by this formula. These are the two concepts which we discussed. Okay, now we'll take one example, then we'll solve this example. Okay. A coin is tossed twice. A random variable of x represents the number of heads turning up. Number of heads turning up. Find the discrete probability distribution for x. Also find mean and standard deviation. Okay, take this, read this example carefully and try to understand this example so that we can go for a solution without any problem. A coin is tossed twice. A random variable of x represents the number of heads turning up, means our favorable case is head in this case. Okay, then we'll be calculating this, and before that we have to find out the discrete probability distribution. Okay, we need to show that the probability whatever we are getting, that is discrete probability distribution. Okay, let us take a solution for this. What is the solution? Solution says a sample space S will be consist of how many times we are tossing a coin? 2 times. 2 times we are tossing a coin, and when we are tossing a coin 2 times, so that we are getting a number of head. So how many times we are getting head, that we need to calculate. See here, twice we are tossing a coin and our intention is to get head. So we may get both the time head, we may get once head then a tail, or we may get a tail and head, or we may get both tail. Okay, we will be associating these numbers. Getting head will be taken as a number 1, and getting tail will be taken as a number 0. Therefore, what will be the range here? So range will be, here we got twice head, so it will be 2. Here we got once head, that is 1. Here we got once head, that is 1. And here we got twice tail, means we didn't get a success in this, so that is called as 0. So these are the random variables of x. Okay, now let us see what is this. Probability of getting head and head is how many times? 1/4. Why it is 1/4? 2 times we are tossing a coin. Okay, so once if we toss, we may get both head. So once there is a possibility out of 4 times, so it is 1/4. Then probability of getting head and tail is how many times? 1/4, which is same as probability of getting tail and head. Then it is again same as probability of getting tail and tail, means all the chances are same in the sense we are having a probability of getting head and head, head and tail, tail and head, tail and tail, same. So equal chances we are having. Okay, then we do one thing. We'll take capital X equal to 0. What is X? Because it is a random variable X, that is equal to 0, means no head, because head will be noted as 1. So no head we are getting. No head we are getting means which are the chances? We are not at all getting a head, means what? We are getting both tail. For that, probability is decided 1/4, that is 25%, that is 1/2. Then probability of getting one head, one head. One head means what? That may be probability of getting tail then head, or probability of getting head and tail. Means probability of getting tail and head union head and tail. You might be studied additional probability. There we have probability of A or B is equal to probability of A plus probability of B. So this is probability of tail head plus probability of head and tail. So it becomes 1/4 plus 1/4, that is 1/2. So 50% of the chances are there of getting one head. So probability of getting two head. Probability of getting two head. How it is possible? If we get both head, twice we are going to toss a coin. Once we toss a coin, we got head. Second time also we tossed a coin. There also we got head. That is again 1/4. So this is the thing. Therefore, the discrete probability distribution for X will be written like this in terms of a table, where I take it as X, that is Xi. This will be a probability of XP, probability of X. So I may not get head, that is 0. I may get one head, that is 1. I may get both times head, that is 2. Okay, now you see what is the probability of getting 0 heads? 1/4. What is the probability of getting one head? That is half a chance. What is the probability of getting both head? That is 1/4. Okay, but one thing we need to keep it in mind. In a question it is given, find the discrete probability distribution. If I want to say this is a discrete probability distribution, it must satisfy both the conditions. First condition is probability of X must be greater than or equal to 0. What is probability of X? This is probability of X. You can see each and every number in this row are positive, 1/4, 1/2, 1/3, all are more than 0. So it is greater than 0. Second condition, summation of probability of X must be equal to 1. Whether it is 1, let us see. What is summation of P of X? Means add all these values. 1/4 plus 1/2 plus 1/4. Add all these values. It becomes 1. Therefore, the distribution is discrete. The distribution is discrete. Therefore, this is probability. This is discrete probability distribution. Then we calculate how to get a mean mu. What is the formula for that? Summation of X into P of X. Okay, so let us calculate. For this we need help of this table. So X into P of X means this X into P of X, but it should be kept under summation. Means what? First 0 into 1/4 plus 1 into 1/2 plus 2 into 1/4. Therefore, mu is equal to, this is 0 and this is 1/2 and 1s are 2s are, this is 1/2. Therefore, it is equal to 1. Therefore, the value of mean mu is equal to 1. Then we go for variance. Anyhow, we calculated mu, so we go for first formula only, that is summation of X minus mu the whole square into probability of X. Therefore, P is equal to X minus, so you can see again, X is 0, mu is 1. Therefore, it is 0 minus 1 whole square into P of X. P of X is 1/4 plus second, X is 1 minus mu is 1 the whole square into P of X is 1/2 plus X is 2 minus mu is 1 the whole square into 1/4. Okay, so let us calculate. This is equal to, this is minus 1 square is 1 into 1/4 plus this is 1 minus 1 is 0, 0 into anything is 0, plus 2 minus 1 is 1, so 1 square is 1 into 1/4. 4. Therefore 1 by 4 plus 1 by 4 is 1 by 2. So this is the value of variance. Then comes standard deviation. What is standard deviation? That is nothing but square root of a variance. So root of 1 by 2. If the question example is given like a situational, try to understand the question once again. A coin is tossed twice and our calculation is related to turning head. We have to show that this is a discrete probability distribution and find out the mean and standard deviation. Then what we have done, possibilities we checked through a sample space where head and head it may be, tail and tail it may be, one head, one tail it may be. Then getting head is related to 1 and getting tail is related to 0. Therefore, if I got both head, this is 2. If I got both tail, means I missed the chance of getting head, that becomes 0. If I get one head, so that is 1, it is written here. Then the range becomes 0, 1, 2. Therefore, getting head and head is 25% chance, getting tail and tail is 25% chance, getting one head, one tail is 50% chance. That is calculated like this. Then that is kept here. After that, to say it is a probability distribution, we have to check it out these two conditions. These two conditions must be satisfied. Then calculate mean by using the formulae. Then variance, then standard deviation. And most of the time in the question, in the examination, table itself will be given. There are two ways of asking a question. One, he may provide a question, situational question. Out of that situation, we need to prepare this table. Then we have to check it out, the probability, discrete probability conditions. Or he may provide a table directly. If it is provided, then no problem. From here, you can continue. Go through this. If you have any doubts, you can ask. Thank you.